Good morning here from Palm Springs, California. Valerie Milano, the senior editor of the Hollywood Times and Aspiring Magazine, and I'm so glad to have our Zoom rooms open today. I'm going to have both these beautiful ladies introduce themselves. So please, you go first, Lady in Blue.
Thank you so much. Well, since I'm living now in Florida, paradise, I thought I would dress the part today. So, anyway, I'm Patty McCall, author, actress, entertainment reporter, and Nana of six.
Wow, that's great. Judy Shields here, dialing in. I'm a managing editor at the Hollywood Times. And I have to say, I met Patty over 20 years ago. We were what they call seat fillers, where you fill in the seats for when an entertainer gets up. And we happened to sit together, and boy, did that spark something. I got to talk to this little Okie because my dad's from Oklahoma, and we just hit it off ever since. So we're here today to talk to Patty about her brand new book, which she has behind her. And I have a copy here that she sent me, a hard copy. And what I'm going to do, folks, I'm going to read, there's an endorsement that I wrote about Patty. So I'm going to go ahead and read that. So bear with me here. Reflecting on when we met as seat fillers over 20 years ago, I am reminded of the many wonderful memories we have shared. Your positive energy and big heart are truly rare, and I have always valued our deep conversations about life and our work together. You decided in moving from Hollywood to Oklahoma to care for your mother and eventually settling in Florida is an inspiration. You have been a fantastic addition to the Hollywood Times, and I have truly enjoyed seeing you cover events across Hollywood, Oklahoma, Nashville, Texas, and Florida. While you have been encouraging me to join you in retirement, I look forward to reading Nana Hollywood Retires to Paradise for the inspirations to finally do so and to become a better Nana myself.
Thank you, Judy. That's beautiful.
It
My
is
goodness. And you got your name in a book too.
Yes.
Wow. So, Patty, this is your fourth book. And how has your writing evolved from your first book to Nana Hollywood Retires to Paradise?
well. The first one was just a journal, and it was actually used for my healing. I left Oklahoma, didn't know really what I was going to do, where I was going to go after a 19-year marriage that kind of went sour, I would say. But anyway, ended up in Hollywood working on the movie sets, had my little journal with me, and just was pouring my heart out with teardrops. And somebody heard my story. So it's really evolved and it's given people that actually have been on their, I mean, just not knowing what to do next. It's given them inspiration, I think, and knowing that you can move on.
Good. And so, for readers meeting her, Nana, for the first time, who is
Mhm.
Nana Hollywood and what sends her off to retire in paradise?
I have three grown children and now six grandchildren. So when I was in Hollywood, my oldest grandson, which is 17 now, he was five. He would talk to me on the phone and say, "Where are you, Nana? I want to see you." I said, "I'm in Hollywood." And he said, "Nana Hollywood." He said, "I really want to come and see you." So I took him on a road trip to there. And ever since, that's he's 17 now and he still calls me that. So that's how I acquired that name and then working on the movie sets there. So I had the best time and met the most awesome people just working on all these sets, whether it was helping with production or actually acting because I got my SAG card, and had a little part in a few movies. So it was really exciting to know that I got to do something completely off the charts that I would have never thought of doing. So
Yeah,
yeah.
you talked a little bit about it just now, but I did want to ask how much of Nana Hollywood was inspired by your own Hollywood experiences or by some of the colorful personalities you've met over the years.
Well, that's for sure. Everything in there in my book is true. And I really, I did stay away from things that, oh, I wouldn't write about or that I could get in trouble about because it was all positive, the things that I write about. But I think there were so many great people that were in my path that, yes, they inspired the whole book. I mean, just their stories and, how they got from where they were. Some of them, they were penniless, there in Hollywood and then made it big. And I like to hear those type of stories, and where they came from, because that means a lot. And that helps other people understand, hey, if they have a dream, they can go for it. And sometimes it really does open some big doors.
That's wonderful. And we don't want to give too much away because we want everybody to go buy your book. So I am now going to shift gears a little bit. You now live in Panama City Beach, Florida, which has a special place in my heart because my vaca family always vacationed there when I was little every summer because we're from Birmingham. What drew you to Panama City Beach, and has living there influenced the paradise in your book?
Oh, definitely. It was after COVID, and I had met somebody new in my life in Oklahoma. And, he was an electrician. And after COVID, things kind of, went the other way. People lost their jobs. So he said, I can work anywhere. And I said, well, I want to go to Florida. I said, my granddaughters at that time were only like 6 and 8, or so forth. And so I said, I want to watch them dance. I want to be there involved, in their competitions. I said, that's what life's about now for me. And so we sold everything we had that only fit in 2 vehicles and took off to Florida. So I'm telling you, it's the best move, besides the one when I was in California. But the good thing I like about here is the white sand and the aqua blue water. I mean, California is great with their beaches, but here, that's what you find, which is kind of the best kept secret right here in Panama City Beach.
Beautiful, beautiful beaches at the Gulf and all through there. My sister still lives in near Gulf Shores. But okay, so now there's plenty of humor in the story, but does it also touch on reinvention, friendship, romance, or aging, or even finding an adventure in a chapter of your life?
Oh, all of that,
All of
girl.
it? Oh, good.
And the reason being, I did lose my mother last year. And, so that was really, that's probably the hardest thing I've ever gone through, even through, my divorce and everything else.
Yeah.
But losing your mom, really, so I have a whole chapter in there about that. And that's the reason I left Hollywood and went back to Oklahoma, actually, is to care for her. And then she had gone into a retirement home. And so that's why I actually got to move, to Florida. But I'm telling you, just that really touches a lot of people's hearts, I think, because they've lost their mom or their dad or, someone close. And actually, since I've been here, some of the ladies that I met have lost their husbands. So, it all kind of is reality of when you get older in this last phase of our life. I mean, we can't stop it, and so you want to as much as you can, but death is all part of aging and getting older. So that's why I try to live each day to the fullest, try to be thankful and grateful for the genuine people that are put in my life.
Thank you. Yes, I know when you lose a parent, that's the worst. But I think I've had the floor a little bit too, or the Zoom room for a little too long. So guess who's gonna talk now?
Well, Valerie,
Yeah,
I want to say
great.
thank you. Just 1 second, let me have you there. Valerie, I this is the first time really I'm face to face with you after all these years. And you know what? It's all because of you starting this. And there again, I am just so thankful that Judy crossed my path to get me to you. So I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And you're welcome to come to Panama City Beach anytime.
Judy and I'll be knocking at that door.
I can't
We
wait.
are going to be. Well,
Okay.
I'm glad Patty started to talk because she's talking about losing her mom, which mine passed in '94, and Valerie lost her wonderful, beautiful mom a few years ago. So it's we know how that feels, and I know being there for you when you had to leave here, leave and everything else to go back there and stuff. And so yeah, we it's a wonderful thing, that we have our wonderful memories of our mom, and we all had beautiful mothers. That's all we got to say. We have wonderful memories.
Well, I
So,
know.
Patty, you have your own Hollywood room at home because you talked to me about it. And we definitely want to see it. Can you show us around, point out a few of your favorite Hollywood treasures, and tell us
Oh
what
my
inspired
goodness.
you to create that room? So just grab
Well,
your iPad and go ahead and show us. We're ready.
yeah, because this room is off the end of the house and it's all open. And I had all these things in boxes, girl, just collecting, and
Yeah.
and they've been in storage. And when I started going through them, that's another thing that inspired, the Nana Hollywood, because I'm like, and when I started putting these things on the walls, which I'm going to share with you guys, I was like, I got to share this with everyone because they're not going to believe this. Just all the people, because you can talk about it, but when you actually see it, that's when it comes
Yeah.
to reality. So let's see here what we can do. I'm going to try this. I'm going to go to the part behind me. Let's see.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to move over here. See who we have here.
Wow.
Okay. Oh, well, you guys, let's see. You remember the Love Boat? Oh my goodness. They're part of the people from the Love
Yes.
Boat that met at the Hollywood show. Oh, then I interviewed, of course, Mickey Gilley and Johnny Lee. I was backstage with them. Get over here.
In
Sorry.
Laughlin,
Uh,
Nevada.
yes, that was awesome. And there they are. There's me with them
Yep.
backstage there. And then we've got
Yeah.
Sammy Hagar, you guys. That
What?
was, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I tell you, is the best, just legend that I think I was just like, I was shaking when I met him, but he was the nicest guy. Like I'd known him forever.
And what
But
a
he had this,
talent. Yeah,
Yeah.
so talented.
yes.
It
Oh,
was a great interview that you did. Yeah.
well, and there again, people can go to what? The Hollywood Times, yes, to look at the article. Oh, okay, here we go. And then let's see here. Now there's the third book, The Karaoke, which talks
Yeah.
about being the Okie, and then all the experiences there on the movie sets, right? So that was, and then here I talk about, let's see, every picture has what? Tells a story, right? So
Nice.
yeah, this has a lot of people in here. And then up here, this is kind of a fun story. Step Brothers. My daughter, I don't know if you can see me there in Step Brothers, but my daughter was in the movie theater. That was on Entertainment Tonight. But my daughter was in the movie theater and said, she stood up in there and said, "That's my mom." I'm in the Catalina wine mixer scene. So that was really fun. And then this course is the pain organization. And my other book, the You Can Too, Overcome and Move On. Then we've got a Western that I was in. There I am at the top, the Prospectors, the Forgiven.
No.
So that
Cool.
I worked with that director Paul on several things.
I remember Paul.
Yes, okay. And then, well, now that's one of the Eagles players, Lane Johnson. He walked me down the aisle at my daughter's wedding, Philadelphia Eagles. So let's see.
Wow.
There's there's
No,
Eric.
we know
Oh,
who he is, right, Valerie? Look, there's Eric Roberts, Valerie's
yes.
friend.
Lots
And
of stories the Hollywood Times have done on Eric and his
Yeah.
all his I just love the man. He's just a
isn't
Yeah.
great
he?
interview, and he's just done so much in his life, not just being Julia Roberts' brother, but yeah. So
Yeah.
we've covered a lot of his projects, and I'm so glad to see all this. How exciting!
Oh my goodness. And
And
then,
tell us about that. I remember that Heart of Hollywood, that glamour shot they did when you got that. That
oh,
was amazing. Look at
now
that.
that was not only um not just to be pretty, but I had actually, it was the work I had done for domestic
Yeah.
violence. So that's how I got the cover of that, was just the work that I had done, with several ladies. I traveled the US working with lady shelters. So it talks
It's
about all of
beautiful.
that. Yeah. And then of course, looky there, there's Lou Fregno. Yeah, he's
Oh,
yeah,
Incredible Hulk.
yes. Oh my goodness, who else is here? Trying to
Cool.
think.
Where's your
John
John
Snyder.
Snyder? You got to have John
Oh,
Snyder up there.
there he is. There's John Snyder.
There he is.
Oh,
Yes, I've
that
I've
was at
interviewed him
his
several times.
well, that was at his birthday bash in
Yeah.
Louisiana. Oh my goodness, I
Wow.
was actually there. That was really awesome. And then, there's my mom. There's my mom and my two daughters. Yeah, and that was mom with
Oh,
me up there. Um, yeah, we're at the Hollywood show. And here's all kinds of, let's see here.
pictures.
Yeah, who all's on the wall here? I don't know.
Well, that's
But yeah,
amazing. We look at all those pictures. We could go on and on.
I
So,
know.
but
Oh,
we,
there's
oh, look at, she's got, oh, that's the guy from the,
Quentin. Oh yeah. Quentin Aaron. Yes.
yes,
From Blindside. Yeah, that
blind.
was
Yeah.
pretty cool. Uh-huh. Okay,
Right.
well,
Okay. Thank you, Patty. That was amazing stuff, but thank you for sharing that. So, Patty, as a writer for the Hollywood Times,
yeah.
how was interviewing and writing about other people influence the characters and stories you create yourself?
Well, I think just getting to hear their stories, to me, is so interesting. Like I said, I don't know if I had to actually make up characters that I could do a book like that. I just, that's how I do, is have interesting stories to tell that people can relate to in their lives. So I think that's what it is mostly, because I say everybody has a story in them, that could relate to somebody else. So I have a class actually that I've done, for people to be like, come and tell your story, because that's interesting to me. So that's basically where I come from, as far as writing. It's just about real people, real things that happen.
Wow, I
All
am
right,
so
Valerie, we'll take it back to you
fi-
now.
finally I get to spend a little bit of time with you virtually. Finally, um,
Yeah.
so now, Patty, that you have 4 books under your belt, my goodness, what's next? And have we seen the last of Nana Hollywood?
Yeah, I know. I hated to really put that out there, retires, because I do want to do some more interviews. But I don't want to do any 9 to 5 jobs. No, no, I don't. I just want to be able to do what I, want to do. And sure, I will go anywhere near me to do interviews. I just love, like I said, hearing what different people do, because here I got to be part of Dolly Parton's opening
I
right
know.
here in Panama City Beach, for her pirate show. So that I would have never got to do something like that. That's where the Hollywood Times has just blessed me to be able to do something like that and be part of it. Because Dolly's always been one of my, I mean, I admire her, right? who doesn't admire Dolly Parton, everything
Mhm.
she's done, and the way she treats people in life and what she's done. That's really inspiration when you can take where you've gone like her and do what she's done now in all the communities. So I just that was really great.
Well, I hope this doesn't make you sad because I want to talk about some people that maybe aren't living anymore. That if Nana Hollywood could invite three Hollywood legends, living or gone, we can even include the living, um, invite them to cocktails on the beach with you, who would they be?
Oh my goodness, you kind of caught me off guard there. But well,
We love that. We love doing that. Yeah.
well, one I just mentioned, Dolly Parton. I mean, I would want to sit with her, and I have so many more questions about just life, where she came from, of course. Um, and let's see who else. Oh my goodness, you guys.
Patty, come on. Elvis Presley. Who do you love?
Oh,
Elvis.
oh my Judy. Are you
Come
kidding me? Okay,
on.
so let's see. Of course, Elvis Presley. I got to meet Priscilla, which brought everything full circle. Okay, Judy, you opened a can of worms now because now I have to tell. I actually got to see Elvis Presley when I was graduating in Oklahoma the year before he passed away. So, yes, of course, I've been to his house, Graceland, 6 times. I saw where he was born. So, yes, Elvis Presley actually would be the number one. So I can't even believe that I did not say that. So,
All right, give us one more.
oh my goodness. You know what? I have to say, just bringing my mom back for one last time.
Yay.
You know,
Oh.
I just that, yeah, as
She
she
was a
was
star.
when she was in her 40s, when she was vibrant and
Mm.
really we were so
Thanks a lot.
close. Yeah,
Thanks a
I would
lot.
have to.
So after that, a little emotional thing about our moms. We had some beautiful mothers, and thank you for sharing that with us. So Patty, let's talk about the cover. It's so beautiful. Your dress. Tell us all about the cover.
Oh my goodness. At first I wanted my 6 grandkids on there with me, right? But anyway, that didn't work out. But I heard this on TV, and this lady was talking about how she started this where you could get a dress and inspire other ladies that are aging. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that. And so I did. And it has a 5-foot train on it. So I was like, how am I going to get this picture with the train flying in the air? So two of my friends here, they got underneath the dress and threw it up to catch what little wind there was. And the photographer grabbed it just at that time.
So right
And
now you're telling me there's two people underneath the back of your dress.
yes, there is. So that was, I was like, you know what? It's not AI. People keep saying, oh, Patty, I bet you did AI. No, we
Wow.
were out there on the beach in the heat because it was starting to get a little later, when we were
Yeah.
going to do this, because we were trying to figure out how we were going to catch it just right. And so I have several pictures where it's laying flat on the sand, but it was like, no, that was not my vision. so, so yes, they were like, okay, we're going to run and get under here and throw it up, and the photographer can try to catch it. And sure enough, that's how that picture was taken.
So let's talk about the back cover. Where were you sitting at there?
Okay, now that is a little place around here called St. Andrews Park.
Okay.
So that was really cool because if you see, there's an actual boat they caught in that one, the photographer did it, called the Screamer. And so
Oh yeah, I
that
see
was
it.
actually caught, yes, at the just the perfect time to be able to catch that
Wow.
boat. Yeah. And
That's amazing.
well, this is not funny, but it is funny because fortunately, I still have the dress, but I didn't for overnight. I went in the bathroom to change. And when I did, I was so, I guess, just exhausted and tired, from the whole day. I left that in the stall. Of, but fortunately, it was 5:30 in the afternoon, and they were closing the park down. So the park ranger took my dress into the little bookstore there, and I went the next morning, and it was there. So, but
So
yeah,
you
and that's
left your
quite the
you
story.
left your you left your this beautiful dress you left in the stall? How did you do that?
It was quite a photo shoot, for the whole
Okay, that's so
day.
funny, Patty.
Oh, it was. I don't know. I got home and I was like, and of course, then the park had already closed.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
but I remember the guy waiting to close, to come in and clean, or it wouldn't have been safe. Somebody would have took off with it.
See,
But
God's
that's how
always looking out for you.
that's what I was gonna say too. I mean, not that I'm gonna need it, but I've even thought about somebody, might want to use it or rent it or whatever because
Yeah.
yeah. But
Oh,
anyway, that's the cover story, and I just like I said, I had this vision, and the photographer and my friends. There was about six of us plus my son, and we're all out there, and I show that at the first of the book. I did give them the credit. There's a picture of all of us out there, and how they were willing
oh.
to be out there, helping me.
Oh
So
yeah, I
that
see it. And also I see this white car. Whose car is that in your book?
oh, that's the photographers. And there again,
Oh,
my karaoke book
yes.
has cars on it. I've always been a car buff. And so that was my initial thought. I was going to have that in the picture on the back cover. But it just didn't fit right when we.
That was wonderful, Patty, telling us all about that. Your the cover, it's so glorious. I'm thinking because you're going like this. I go, is she holding a purse or she holding her dress? What is she doing? So, thanks for telling us all about that. I still cannot believe there was like people underneath there holding that up. That's pretty awesome. The greatest story I've ever
Well,
heard from Patty McCall.
yeah, and that's kind of the Hollywood look, out on the beach, kind of with your hand like that. It's
Yeah,
kind
right?
of fun. Yeah.
So what else has been happening in your world right now?
Oh my goodness. Okay. So we just recently moved out to Margaritaville. It's called Latitude Margaritaville, where it's all retired people out here, right?
Really? Wow.
So yeah, and it's amazing because you just take your golf cart everywhere you want to go, to eat, to the pool, to work out. Um, but Jim, he actually, being an electrician, he actually started working for the company out here. So when
Nice.
they have a magazine called Latitude PCB. Okay. So they were like, you two would be awesome to be on the cover since you have your fourth book coming out, right? My launch, Banana Hollywood Retires to Paradise. And so they made the cover of us at the pool, if you can see it.
Yes.
Um,
Oh,
we're
that is
at
so
the,
cool. Yeah.
yeah, we're actually at the swimming pool here.
So that's where you
Uh,
live.
yep, where we live. And so, and I had ordered those outfits because they say it's out here, it's 5 o'clock somewhere because it's like
Right?
a Jimmy Buffett place, right?
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, we're going to wear that to an event here because they always have somebody or some event to do with Jimmy Buffett. So, and it has 5 o'clock somewhere, not knowing that we were going to be on the cover of the next
Wow.
issue. So that's how that came to be about. So
Meet Jim and
there,
Patty. How awesome. Congratulations, girl.
Yeah, so I'm like, my second cover in my lifetime, because the Heart of Hollywood that we talked about earlier, who would ever know? I mean, some people don't get that chance once in their lifetime,
Yes.
so anyway, that was what I talk about in my book about those connections.
Yeah.
Just like with you, this was another connection here in Panama City Beach that actually is the editor and CEO here with that magazine. And she
Yeah.
connected me to the lady that does this one. So it's just a miracle how the good Lord works in my life.
Wow.
So,
That's awesome. Well, we do appreciate the fact that you told us that little story and we have so much more. So we thank you again for spending the time with the Hollywood Times. And we will let Valerie say a couple of words.
Oh, what a great
yeah.
conversation this has been, Patty. Thank you so much. And we're going to have to come back and talk about your other books one day very soon. And
Oh,
yeah. So
all right.
get ready for your doorbell there to ring pretty soon as well. So thank you
Okay.
so much for joining us. We're HollywoodTimes.net, aspiringmagazine.com. Hollywood Times Official is our YouTube channel. This interview will be on the YouTube shortly and will be posted in our article as well. Any last words, anybody?
No, I'm
Yes,
just
I have to say really quick that Patty, I'm so honored and I'm so blessed to have you in my life. We're not going to go into all that, but I've gone through so much in my life, emotionally, health, and you've always been my sister from another mother. And you get those calls, and I know you're so busy, but you'll always take my calls, and we always end up crying and then laughing. You always make me laugh at the end of the call, and anything we get over here that you can cover over there, we make sure you get it. And thank you so much for asking me to be in this, and Patty even signed it here too. So yeah, it means a lot to me, and I'm so proud of you. And we're gonna help you
well,
sell more of these.
well, I hope so, and thank you so much. And you know what? We all need to go to Nashville too, because my
Yes.
friend Todd, that does all the Elvis, which has really blessed me, also just actually purchased the nightlife theater there that Tammy Wynette's band was the ones that actually had it. So we need to go to Nashville, be a part of that, and you guys, we
Yay.
can do something great there if we want to.
Oh, there's
So
so much to do there. Yeah, as you
yeah,
know.
All right.
okay.
Thank you. And have a wonderful rest of your weekend, your Sunday, and I can't wait to meet you in person.
Me too.
Okay. Bye,
Ditto.
everybody.